Oh, good morning. Welcome to another video. My name is Tony with the Quick Tech Solutions channel, and I hope you join me here for a few minutes on this beautiful sunny August day as I enjoy a cup of joe and get ready, prepare myself mentally for heading up to the studio to start working on the Grandstream home networking series. The first video in the series is going to be basically doing the initial setup of the Grandstream GCC6010. And I'm looking forward to getting this series out to you, but I need to finish my coffee first. So I hope you come along for the ride and enjoy today's video.
All right, so let's get started. Over the course of the series, we're going to be building this home network. We have our GCC6010 as our router, a GWN7801P as our switch, and a GWN7660 access point. Now, side note, you could use other Grandstream model devices. These are just what I happen to have here in the lab, so I'm going to build this video series using these devices. However, if you have other devices in mind, you can apply what I'm going to teach you in this series to those devices. We're going to basically have three networks: our main default network, our IoT network for our little IoT smart devices, and a guest network. We're going to cover things like how to get the GCC6010 set up, add the VLANs, how to create Wi-Fi networks, how to adopt the switch and the access point. We're going to create global port profiles for the switch. We're going to create firewall rules to block the IoT and the guest from accessing the main network. We're going to talk about bandwidth limiting in this series. We're even going to touch on SSL inspection. And then finally, we're going to talk about content filtering for families. And once we have all that covered in the course of probably 6 or 7 videos, you should have a nice, solid, secure home network in place. All right, so you should have a pretty good idea now what this series is going to cover, and I hope you stay tuned for all of it. Before we get into the actual setup of the GCC6010, I do want to make this disclaimer. My intention is to keep the videos in this series short and to the point, not a lot of bloat. However, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the following. When planning out a home network and design, a lot goes into the planning. For example, what is the floor plan of the home? What is the square footage? How many access points? Well, all that's going to determine, right, the size of the home. How many access points do I need? 2, 3, 4? Do I need wired connections? So how many ports do I need? That'll determine what size switch to get. So I'm not disregarding all of that stuff. That's all really important things to take into consideration, the placement of the access points. However, in this series, I just want to focus on the configuration of the actual network gear. That said, let's get started with the GCC initial setup. All right, when you get the GCC6010 out of the box for the first time, we need to connect the physical cables. So let's power it up. Let's plug in our power cable in the back. So now we have a light in the front. You can see that here. We're going to go ahead and connect 2 more cables. I'm going to connect this white cable to port 1. For now, this is my computer. And then we are going to connect a black cable. And the colors are irrelevant. They just happen to be the cables that I have available. We're going to plug the black cable into port 5, which by default is the WAN port. Okay, so now that we have our physical connections, we're just going to give the device a chance to boot up. And I should be able to get an IP address from the GCC6010 so we can continue on with the configuration. So let's switch over now and let's see what we got. Okay, the GCC6010 is fully booted up. My computer did in fact obtain an IP address from the GCC6010. So let's go to the login page. We need to point our browser to the default address of the GCC6010, which, as I mentioned in the last video, is 192.168.80.1. If you haven't seen that video, I will link to it up above and down in the video description. Let's get to the login page. Okay, so now we're going to sign in with the default credentials. The default username is admin, all lowercase. And the default password is found on the bottom of the actual GCC6010. By the way, it's the initial password and it's different for every Grandstream device, so just make note of that. Let's get that initial password in and let's sign in. And you can see now the first thing we're asked to do is reset the password. And you can see the criteria here. It says 8 to 32 bits, needs to contain 2 types of numbers, either letters, numbers, or special characters. So I'm going to use my usual lab password. It's not going to like it too much because it's not the strongest, but it's only for here in the lab. If you're using this router in live home production, then please, pick a strong password. Okay, and you can see now we got the confirmation message, so we're going to go ahead and sign in using the new credentials. Okay, and now we're presented with the 3-step wizard. Now we can skip the wizard, but I want to take you guys through this wizard. So let's go ahead and hit the blue setup wizard button. And you can see the 3 steps up top here are the username is grayed out, it's admin. It's asking us to enter an email address, and it's telling you to retrieve password via email. So let's go ahead and set up our email address. And obviously you would put your email address in here, and I'm going to put my phone number in as well. And then we're going to go ahead and click on the next arrow. And we can give the device a name here. By default, I'm going to leave it for GCC6010. You could set it to whatever you'd like here. Set your country, region, and your time zone. For me, America, New York is just fine. We're going to hit the blue next button. And here we're going to go ahead and give our WAN a name. So WAN 1 is the SFP7. We are going to leave it at 2.5. We're going to set it to obtain the address automatically, even though we're not using it. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to say WAN 2, auto negotiation, obtain IP address automatically, which is fine for this. Keep in mind your ISP's connection type may be different. It might not be obtained automatically. It might be a static IP type connection or a PPPoE connection, both of which you would get that information from your provider. And we're just going to set a DNS server of, and a secondary of. So the 1.1.1.1, for those that don't know, is the Cloudflare service, and the 8.8.8.8 is the Google DNS service. So since we're plugged into port 5 and not port 7, we're going to use the WAN 2 configuration. We're going to click the OK button, and now we're going to go to the overview. We got the setup is complete message, and there we go. So now we have our overview. So what we're going to do next as part of this first video, so we've set up the initial password and we've gone through the wizard. So what we're going to do for the remainder of this video is go in. I'm going to take you into the networking node here, the globe, and we're going to go take a look at the network settings, and we're going to come down here to LAN. And you can see by default we have the 192.168.80.1 address here. Now, if we want to change that, we can just by clicking on the pencil here, and then we can go in and edit those settings. But we're going to leave that for the purpose of this series. But what I do want to do is, if we refer back to the actual diagram, we have 2 additional networks besides the default. We have an IoT network and we have a guest network. So let's go ahead and click add. And we're going to give this the VLAN ID of 10, because in the diagram, that's what we referred to the IoT network being on a 192.168.10 network. So let's do that now. And we're going to call this IoT. And then for destination, we're going to leave this set to all. And then we're going to turn on VLAN port IPv4 address. And now we're going to go ahead and set the address and the range. And the subnet mask, it'll be 255.255.255.0. And we definitely want to turn on the DHCP service for this network so that any device that connects to it can get an address so it can connect out to the internet. So because this is for IoT devices, things like smart plugs, thermostats, even your TVs if you want, we're going to set the full range. So we're going to go from 192.168.10.2 all the way up to 254. Okay, and then we're going to leave pretty much everything else the same. We'll put in the same DNS servers. These are public DNS servers that we set up before for the WAN. And then we're going to go ahead and hit save. We're going to do the same thing one more time for the guest VLAN, which we called VLAN 20 in our diagram. So we're going to give it the VLAN ID of 20. We're going to call it guest. Again, we're going to leave the destination set to all. Let's come over to VLAN port IV4 and turn that on again. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to give it the IP address of 192.168. But this time we're going to go 20.1. The same subnet mask, 255.255.255.0. And we're going to turn on the DHCP service again. So any of the devices or guests that sign on to the guest network can get an address so that they can actually get out to the internet. So again, because this is the guest network, I'm going to give it the full range. Oops. And again, we'll do the same DNS servers. And we're going to go ahead and say save. And now you can see on the screen, we have our default address, we have our IoT network, and we have our guest network. So now if we take a look at VLAN port settings, you can see that all of the networks, network 1, network 10, and network 20, which also known as VLANs, are going to be, the traffic for all those networks are going to be passed on each of the ports. All right, so that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to do in the first video. I want to keep it short and to the point. And when I say to the point, I mentioned in a previous video that this series is not going to get into the nuts and bolts and the science of how networking works. If you want that, there's a lot of content out there on YouTube. So if I'm not fully explaining everything, there's a reason. And that reason is my intent with this series is to get a home user with not a lot of networking experience or a lot of tech savvy to be able to set up a network from scratch to a point where they have a complete working secure home network. So that said, I hope you stay tuned for the next video, which we're going to cover creating our Wi-Fi networks and adopting our switch and our access point. If you'd like to see more content like this, please click the video on that screen. Thank you so much for watching.